Welcome back to No More Excuses, Wake Up, where we talk about money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. Today we are talking about money. I am Stenell Myers, and I want to get right into the Hometown Heroes 2025. It is actually coming out tomorrow, which is August the 18th. We're going to talk about how much you get and how to apply and who qualifies so we can really get an understanding for first time home buyers. You'll see me on YouTube and also you can hear me on my podcast. I am back. I'm back. See my microphone? I'm so happy. I'm podcasting again, y'all. I've been podcasting since 2018. Not consistent, but I am back. So we're going to be talking about hometown heroes because I am a realtor in the Tampa area, and Hometown Heroes actually comes out tomorrow, August the 18th, and I want to honestly jump into this because it is great information and I want to break it down what Hometown Heroes is, how important it is, and also how the program, they actually expanded who qualifies for the program. So let's just dive into it. The program actually starts tomorrow, as I stated. Who qualifies is very important. So, first time home buyers, there is a rule, and I'm going to break everything down for you. You need to be a first time home buyer. And to be a first time home buyer, that basically means that you have not owned a home, you have not owned a primary residence in the last 3 years. So you may have owned a home 5, 6 years ago. You may have been a homeowner for a long time, but within the last 3 years, you have not owned a home. You could have sold that particular home and now you are renting, living with family, but it does not disqualify you if you were a homeowner. As long as you did not own a home as your primary residence in the last 3 years, you're fine and you will qualify. So there is an exception. The exception is veterans. So active duty, military, any National Guard, they do not meet this rule. In Florida, it says if you serve, you do not have to be a you do not have to be a first timer to qualify. That's the way to giving back. So when it comes to veterans, they do have a lot of exceptions. Now, how much do you get? The assistance. The program gives you up to 5%. I want you to catch this. Of your first mortgage amount capped at $35,000. So that's capped at $35,000. If your loan is under $200, you'll still get a minimum of $10,000. This isn't a grant. It's a 0% interest, amortizing second mortgage. Let me break that second mortgage down. That means no monthly payments, no interest adding, but it does sit there until certain things happen. And those certain things is when you'll pay it back. So I want to jump into when you'll pay it back. So you will have to pay back what is called the second mortgage because the money that they're giving you, it's free now, but it's not free forever. So if you sell the home, you'll have to pay it back. If you refinance the mortgage, you have to pay it back. And if you transfer the ownership to someone else, you will have to pay it back. Now, what I did was I broke down examples so you can understand when I say pay it back. Because you'd be like, oh, I don't have the money to pay it back. No, pause. Because owning a home is essential. First time home buyers is something that I love to do. I love to work with first time home buyers. I think it's important. I was a renter myself. I know people do rent, but the benefits of owning a home, when you don't know, that's where it's scary. Well, the benefits of owning a home is just, you could weep money. It's just a lot of things that you can do. You can pull money out, and it's money that you probably haven't seen or may never see because you don't have something that yields such a high investment as such as a home. So again, let me go back. When do you pay it back? If you sell the home, you refinance your mortgage, or if you transfer your ownership to someone else. Now let's do an example that I broke down for you. So let's say you get a $250,000 mortgage. Now That is 12,500 in assistance. When you sell your home, you will have to pay back the $12,500 at closing before you collect, right? So if you purchase the home today and the home was $250,000, when you go to sell your home, you have to pay back what was given to you for this particular program that you qualify for. So again, if your loan is 250 and you get 12,500 to help you to in assistance to get the home, and if you sell the home, you will have to pay it back. If you refinance that mortgage, you will have to pay back that 12,500, or if you transfer the ownership to someone else, you will have to pay back that 12,500. If your loan is 300,000, you get 15,000. So the higher amount your loan is, the more you'll get. If you refinance later, you'll pay back that $15,000. That's fine. I'm gonna tell you why. If you add someone to your deed or gift the home that and you originally got $20,000, you will owe $20,000 right then, right? So I'm gonna say that again. If you add someone else to your deed or gift the home and you originally got $20,000, you'll owe $20,000 right then. So anything that you received, you basically will have to pay it back if you sell the home. Now, every home is not for forever. Some people, these are starter homes. So I don't want you to have a fear and say, oh my gosh, I got to live in this house forever. No, you don't, because you just got a house for $300,000. You were gifted $15,000 or given $15,000 and you're about to sell it. And all you got to do is give back the 15 or the $12,500. That's a win-win. So the key is you're paying back exactly what you borrow, right? You borrow stuff all the time. Don't act like y'all don't borrow stuff, or people borrow stuff from you and don't never pay you back. Trust me, I know. But if you borrow something, all you doing is paying it back. But now what you're reaping is so much more, right? You get it? So let's say some of you may say, wait, I have to pay it back. And again, it's a win-win situation. And I don't want that to limit you from this situation. So let me scroll here. So let me tell you what the requirements are. That's important. So the employer requirements, you must work full time, at least 35 hours per week for a Florida-based employer. A Florida-based employer. Florida-based means your company has a real physical presence in Florida. That could be a hospital, a school, a fire station, a daycare, courthouse, all these different examples. So, remote workers, I want you to clearly listen up. If your company is Florida based and has an office here in Florida and you work from home, you got it, you're good, right? But if your company is not a Florida based and you work for home, gonna that's not gonna stand. So for instance, I have my companies in New Jersey. And let's say if this is something that I will qualify for, I wouldn't personally qualify for this. Or let's say the individuals, my employees that work for me, because they work for me and they can work remote and they do work remote. The actual company, A Second Touch, the actual company, Joy Making a Difference, is not in Florida. Although I'm in Florida, that's not in Florida. The actual company is in Jersey, but the physical location would have to be in Florida. So A Second Touch, Joy Making a Difference, physical location would have to be here in order for my employees to be able to qualify. Believe me, I just went through this with someone I was trying to get qualified for a loan with a different program. It would have to be a physical presence in the state of Florida. So let me dive into the approved occupations because I think this is juicy. So the approved occupations, this is for healthcare workers, teachers. Before it was really for, frontline, which is for nurses, doctors, but they expanded. So it's healthcare workers, teachers, first responders, firefighters, EMTs, police, correctional officers. My husband was a correctional officer before he retired. And I'm in the field of childcare. So it's childcare workers, daycare, preschools, and and I'm also in the field of healthcare, so I will qualify. Court employees, clerks, probation officers, support staff. This is amazing. Military and veterans, active duty guard. It's just this is amazing. The qualifications is amazing. So it's a lot. Healthcare workers, teachers, first responders, that's your firefighters, court employees, childcare workers, military. This is great. So please, if you know anybody that you think that will qualify for Hometown Heroes, please reach out to me and let me know. Now let's go into the income and credit requirements. This is where it might get a little dicey. You must stay under the income limit for your county. So the number changes depending on where you live. You would definitely, if that's something that you want, you will reach out to me, and then I will reach out to my loan officer that will help you with that. You must have at least a 640 credit score. Yeah, you must. So that part is it's not negotiable. You must have a 640. Now, if you don't have a 640, I do have other products for you for first-time home buyers, and they are new builds. But for this particular program, you must have a 640 credit score. And unless you're exempt as a veteran, a VA, of financing, you'll also need to complete a HUD-approved home buyer's education course. Unless you're exempt as a veteran, you also need to complete a HUD-approved home buyer education course. Now, don't let this frown you away, because the educational course are real. It happens. I've seen the home buyers. I have a client that actually went through, not Hometown Heroes, but had to complete an educational course. We're closing in September, and that is real. These programs are absolutely real to help first-time home buyers to turn them from renters into owning a home. So how much do you get? The assistance. The program gives you up to 5% of your first mortgage, and it's capped at $35,000. If your loan is under $200,000, you'll still get a minimum of $10,000, and that's great. How it works. So because it's not a grant, it's a 0% non-amortizing second mortgage. So I did tell you this, and I just want to recap it because I want you to completely understand that even when you pay it back, right? Because we talked about when you pay it back, that is when you're selling a home, refinancing your mortgage, transferring home ownership, which is important. So I want you to know that it's not a grant. This is something that you have to pay back. When it comes to grants, you don't have to pay back as long as it's in the scope of the particular grant. You don't have to pay back grants, but this you do have to pay back. So it is a second mortgage. And the only time you pay it back, again, is if you do sell the home, refinance the home, or transfer the home ownership. So the funding limit. It is $50 million that is set aside for 2025. So that's going to go quick. Once it's going, it is going. This is not the first time Hometown Heroes have came, but it is here again. So it's going to be gone, and when it's gone, it's not until next year where this will start all over again. So you do want to act quickly. It is important. Please contact me. I can get you in front of my loan officer, which is really, really good, and will try to get you into this home. Now, remember, you do have to have a 640 credit score. So let's just wrap this all up. So the Hometown Hero program, it starts August 18th. That is tomorrow. 2025 is for first-time home buyers. Unless you're a military or a veteran, then you are exempt. That is great. You know, I wanted to be a veteran and going to the military, and I think I was in my 40s. I'm telling you, this makeup drives me crazy. And my husband's like, no, I wasn't in my 40s. That's too late. I was in my 30s. Yeah, because we got married. And he was like, oh no, I don't want you in the military. And now, and he was an active duty, and he didn't finish. He do have his DD, what is this, DD 14, DD 214, DD something. And so he doesn't get all the benefits, but he could if he really fought it. But anyway, I wish, if you are young, go into the military, because you get exempt for so much. Even if you wanted to be a realtor, like, you get exempt from so much. So let me go back into the exemption. For first-time home buyers, unless you're military veteran, then you're exempt. You get exempt for so much. You must work full-time for a Florida-based employer. We went over that, with a physical presence in the state of Florida. Occupations include healthcare, education, first responders, court staff, childcare, and military veterans. You need a 640 credit score, and you can get up to $35,000 for a down payment and closing costs, and you will pay it back when you sell, refinance, or transfer home ownership. But it is a win-win because you're gaining wealth through home ownership. And that's it. You're gaining wealth. And that's it, baby. You want to gain wealth. There's $50 million in a pot. You don't want to wait. And listen, say contact me, because the first-time home buyers, this is important information. And hometown heroes, you are a hero if you are in any of those occupations. If you know someone, reach out to me and let's get this popping. Let's get this going, and let's be first-time home owners. Hey smart people, I have a 3-month one-on-one personal or business coaching program. As you all know, I paid off $50,000 in debt in 1 year. I will teach you how I stayed out of debt using my burner method and personalized spreadsheet I created to fit my lifestyle and keep me on track. You will learn how to understand your money communication style using my financial treatment plan. Also, if you own a small business and you feel stuck with cash flow or feel disorganized, I teach business owners and self-employed entrepreneurs such as yourself to financially maximize your money, build wealth using your business income, and retire working on the business while your business continues to run, such as myself. You can book a call with me. The link is in the show notes. If you live in the Tampa Bay area, I can help you buy or sell a home. If you want to relocate to the Bay, I can help you buy a home. I also specialize in first-time home buyers. Reach out to me at stenellmyers.realtor@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to No More Excuses, Wake Up. If you enjoyed the show, please go to iTunes and Spotify, rate and review. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, go to Stenell Myers Enterprises, click on Stenell the Money Therapist, and you will see me doing a little acting on how I fought and kicked down closed doors. You can email me at stenellmyers.realtor@gmail.com. No more excuses. Y'all know what to do. Wake up.